Blessings. So now over to Radhakrishnan sir. So dear teachers, let us all lend our ears to the Power Pact session from Radhakrishnan sir. Sir, over to you and hearty welcome once again.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Yeah. Good morning, Abdul Salam sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
The managing director and the principal Sujitra ma'am, and all my dear teachers. It's so nice to be with you once again. I had been there, I think, before 2 years for a CBSE program on classroom management. With the Somen sir, I remember it. With Somen sir, I had been there for 2 days. It was a wonderful experience. Now back again with another professional development program. This itself shows the commitment of the management, how much they are interested in developing the teachers. As Sujitra ma'am has pointed out in the introductory address, that we are in the 21st century. 2 decades have already passed, and we are at the threshold of the 3rd decade. And do we continue with the practice of 20th century teaching? Whether the last 20 years we could change. And it is very important for us to ponder over it, whether we could change during the last 2 decades, because not many changes has happened in the world during the last 20 years itself. Whether we updated ourselves on that, or do we continue with the old teaching style and mode, then it is not going to work, as Abdul Salam sir has pointed out. Change is constant, but do we update ourselves? Do we devote time to read, to research, and update our skills? If we didn't update our skills, we will become obsolete. Sharpening the saw is very important. A farmer used to brush up, used to polish his tools on a day-to-day basis. Why? To perform better next day with the tools. Same is the case of teachers. What we are going to deliver on a day-to-day basis to the children, if we want to improve upon that, we have to update ourselves by spending time intentionally. Why I say intentionally? We are all busy in this world. So intentionally, if we didn't decide, that is not going to happen. Even Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, has got only 24 hours, but he does what he wanted. In the same manner, we also have 24 hours. We are not so busy with the President or the Prime Minister at all. So it's possible for us to take out little time and do some research, reading on a day-to-day basis. Because just by attending 1 or 2 workshops, you are not going to be updated. Because in workshops, what happens generally is they give you a lot of hints through which you can update yourself. Even now we are on an online mode. So here also we have only limited time. Within that limited time, today I can tell you a lot about different teaching strategies, because Sujitra ma'am was emphasizing on 21st century teaching practices. So I will be introducing to you 5 to 6 teaching practices that we can follow in the current decade or in the current world. And these teaching strategies are mainly based upon 4 C's. And we'll deal with what are those 4 C's. So the teaching strategies I am going to discuss today is based on the 4 C's. How 4 C's can be imbibed in the children. Without 4 C's, children cannot survive. our children cannot survive. So first of all, we have to know whether we as teachers, do we have those 4 C's? If we don't have the 4 C's, how are we going to inculcate those 4 C's among the children? So let us move on to my presentation. I will be sharing the presentation now. Then we will go along with the presentation. So please hold on. So I hope you are all able to see my slide.
Yes, sir, we are able. We can see.
You are able to hear also. There is no issue with audio or video.
No issue, no issue.
Okay, you are able to. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So I will be taking this session. In between, there will be questions that the teachers have to answer. It will be an interactive session to an extent. It won't be an interactive session like in the normal workshops, but I will try to make my level best to make it interactive. In between the sessions, there may be questions. And whenever questions are there, teachers can try to chat in the box. Chat box can be used and you can type your answers. And sometimes I may be asking a question. You can unmute your audio and you can answer. There is no issue. And if you have questions, at the end we will address the questions. I will be taking the class. At the end, I will be keeping 10 to 15 minutes. You can ask the questions and you can clarify your doubts related to the topic or anything else. Whichever I can answer, I will be answering. So in that way, we will be proceeding in this particular session. So as I told you, we will be discussing about 5 to 6 teaching practices that is most suitable for the 21st century. And I was talking you about 4 C's. So let us start the interaction first. Teachers can use the chat box and type the answer for this question. Whatever you know, there is nothing wrong or right. Don't worry about it. What are the 4 major 21st century competencies we have to develop among the children? Teachers can start typing on the chat box the answers that you feel. Yes, I can see Jessima has written social skills. Teachers can start typing whatever you know about it. Then Munira has written courage to face challenges. We are talking here about 4 C's, okay? 4 major skills, that is 4 C's. What are those 4 C's? That's what the question is. If you can expand those 4 C's and write, it will be very good. Mehajabin Siddiq has written critical thinking. Then Supriya Sriju has written creativity. Rashid has written IT skills. Then Rizwana has written again critical thinking. Okay, fine. Thank you for your response. Okay, let us see now. Yes, Sindhu has written solving problems. Collaboration, someone has written collaboration. Okay, let us see now. What are these 4 C's? You can see that these 4 C's are critical thinking, collaboration, communication, and creativity. So remember, the 4 C's that are important in the current world are critical thinking, collaboration, communication, and creativity. So while teaching any subject, we should be able to deliver, or we should be able to imbibe these 4 skills among the children. Whether you may be teaching a language or science or maths. So the first and foremost thing to do is there should be a lot of interaction among the teacher or between the facilitators and the learners on a day-to-day basis in the classroom. The previous type of monologue won't help, because monologue is not going to help. That means the teacher delivering the lesson, teacher talking in the class throughout. That is not going to help develop these 4 C's in the children. So in what way, what strategies can we adopt to imbibe critical thinking, collaborative learning, creativity, and communication among the children? Let us move on to the topic. See, new practices. Why do we need new practices? Because changing the education environment. The world is changing, so education environment is also changing. And also we need better academic performance among the children. And at present, as Abdul Salam sir was telling, we are in a new situation of COVID-19. It has exposed us to technology. Many of us were not ready to adopt technology, but nature has forced us into a world of technology. So if you are not ready to accept and adapt, we are not going to survive. And technology can boost academic performance that it has already proved. It can help us deliver what we want to the children. So now we will move on to the first classroom strategy that we can adopt, or classroom practice that we can adopt in the 21st century. And while I discuss, I am telling you in the beginning itself, teacher cannot be replaced by technology. That is not possible, because education is all about a connection between 2 hearts. It's a link between 2 hearts. Technology cannot replace a teacher. And this heart-to-heart connection is very important. That means emotional connect is very important in the case of education. So if someone is doubting that whether technology will replace us, when we are going to discuss a lot about technology, there is nothing to worry, teachers cannot be replaced, because education is all about heart-to-heart connection. But technology can aid us a lot. It can help us facilitate learning. That's what we have to remember. Now, COVID-19 has brought us into technological world and also into edutech-based education or schooling. In that, flipped learning or flipped classroom or blended learning has got a very important role to play. Now we should know, what is this flipped classroom? What is this blended learning that everyone is talking about? If you go around, you can see that if you browse the internet or if you read newspapers or magazines related to education, everywhere we can see that people are talking a lot about flipped classroom or blended learning. What is this flipped classroom or blended learning? We can see that. In flipped classroom and or blended learning, teachers prepare the materials in advance. That means lesson planning play a key role. Whatever strategy you are going to follow in the classroom, in all that, lesson planning has got a very important role to play. Planning and preparation, without that we can't succeed in the classroom. Now when we are talking about flipped classroom, again the planning and preparation is very important. Because what we do is almost all the primary educational material or primary materials needed for a child to learn a particular topic are sent to the child in advance. That means before our class. Suppose I wanted to teach a particular lesson tomorrow, or I wanted to teach a lesson on Monday. It may be anything, whatever it is, whatever is the topic. Now, today we are celebrating. Now, suppose you see, today we are celebrating Ganesh Chaturthi. I'm taking a relevant example. This is what we used to tell. We have to correlate day-to-day life. Today, we are celebrating Ganesh Chaturthi festival. Suppose you are dealing with a lesson on independence movement. How independence movement can be connected with the Ganesh Chaturthi. It's a point to think. Then whatever materials needed for that, you are giving to the children today itself. You are giving them information about important leaders of independence movement. You are giving them ideas about, or you are giving them materials about Bal Gangadhar Tilak and how he tried to integrate Ganesh Chaturthi with independence movement to enlist the support of the people for the independence movement. So how he tried to integrate all that materials you are giving in advance to the children. And if there is any film related to Bal Gangadhar Tilak or independence movement, you are sharing that also with the children in advance. You are creating some PowerPoint presentations. You are sharing it with children before you teach. So what I am telling is, in flipped classroom, to have a flipped classroom, you are preparing your study materials. Now we were discussing about Independence Day movement and Ganesh Chaturthi festival is going on. So we wanted to connect. I wanted to teach that same thing on Monday. So I collect all the information regarding that and I hand over to the children in advance today itself. And I am telling the children, you go through all these materials and study yourself at home. You read, you watch video, you watch the presentation I have given, all that you are telling. So a self-directed learning takes place. Today is the age of self-directed learning. So children go through the content, whatever materials you have given. And to an extent, they prepare themselves and come to the class on Monday. And after coming to the class, you are discussing briefly about the same thing and asking the children, what are the things you learned? You get certain ideas from the children. What they have learned, they share. Even for that, you can circulate a worksheet or something you can circulate. Or a questionnaire or something you can circulate. When you circulate a questionnaire or something, naturally children write what they learned. So you get a basic idea what they learned, whether they went through and all. And after that, in the classroom, use the time for application of knowledge. And also you may be understanding from the questionnaire you supplied, how many children understood, how many children need scaffolding. So you again divide the children into groups and all and discuss about the same topic in the class. And you help the children learn by using different strategies. And those who are weak, you get enough time to spend with them. And sometimes you may be able to have peer teaching because there may be some children who got the points, what you wanted to teach from the pre-learning experience itself. So you get more time in the classroom to have to prepare skill-based things and also to help individual children based on their abilities. This is what happens in flipped classroom. Now, skill-based learning about Bal Gangadhar Tilak and independence movement you were teaching, Ganesh Chaturthi and all. So children learn to an extent from home itself, and you are again guiding in the class in the beginning. After that, immediately you are going for activities. You are telling children, prepare a small presentation of your own presentation. You are dividing the children and giving one group. Okay, you prepare a small presentation on the role of Ganesh Chaturthi in independence movement and how Bal Gangadhar Tilak has connected. A group is going to make a presentation. And someone else you are telling, can you write a song or a poem or something related to the topic you have learned? And for some others, you are telling to prepare a poster on in a chart paper. That means a lot of skills you are trying to impart there through flipped learning. You get enough time because most of the children learn at home. And you find there are 2 children who need additional help. So you found that 2 children in the class, they are well equipped with the content of the lesson. So you make them engage with the weak scholars, and peer teaching takes place over there. So what is the ultimate benefit by this? You get plenty of time in the classroom to interact with the kids and also engage in skill-based learning. That's what happens. Now, how it takes place in the class, we can see now. See, this is the flipped classroom model.